Now, you're very welcome outside. We're chatting about apps and taking your blood pressure. And we'd like to ask you, when was the last time that you got your blood pressure checked? Because high blood pressure, seemingly, we're asking this question, estimates 1 million people in Ireland, and it is the biggest risk factor for stroke.
We are joined now by Marese Damery, who knows all things blood pressure related. And I was just saying, I check it on an app on my phone in the morning and the evening. You don't think that's as good as actually getting it checked by an expert like yourself?
Yes. We generally would recommend that you use a blood pressure cuff up on the upper arm, okay? If you're going to buy a blood pressure machine, maybe ask your chemist what's the recommended device. There's also an organisation called Dabl, DABL.org, and they would recommend devices for you as well.
But what is wrong with the app? Is it just because it's not you're not getting a clear reading?
I wouldn't want to comment on it because I'm not an expert, to be honest. But what I would say is high blood pressure is a major risk for heart disease and stroke.
Well, let's talk about that, Marese. What does our blood pressure tell us? Like even the figures, like we got ours checked this morning, and I know it's good and not bad, but I don't even know what the figures represent. So what does our blood pressure tell us?
So you have your heart, okay, it's sitting in your chest. It's a hollow little, it's a muscular organ that's sitting in your chest. It's about the size of your fist, okay? Your blood pumps around the body, okay? So when the top number of your blood pressure is called your systolic number, we like that to be around 120. The bottom number is your diastolic blood pressure. We like that to be around 80. What the top number does is it measures the heart as it pushes the blood around the body, and the bottom number measures your heart as it rests. So both numbers are very important.
I never knew that before.
Yeah, so your heart pumps, I think, your blood around the body about 100,000 times a day or something like that. So it's really important that your heart is functioning well, your blood pressure is measured to keep it within the normal limits.
Okay, so we got ours done this morning. So I went in and I got mine done, and I've got it done before. And so when you put the device on, what does it do?
Okay, so we put the device on, okay? We have an automated machine, okay? You press a button, what it does is it pumps up a cuff in your arm, okay? So it measures the pressure as the pump releases and the blood is being pumped out along your arm, okay? So you get the two numbers, so you get the systolic over the diastolic, okay? So this morning you two were happy with your blood pressure?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we have shots of me getting the stuff done. Do we
Tell us what we were, Marese, we've forgotten.
Okay.
Actually,
what was mine then?
Your blood pressure, I think this morning was around 109 over 79. I actually don't have your card because I gave it to both of you, hoping
you did. I've lost it.
Yeah, it was about 109.
But you were both actually very similar today.
I was about 108 over 79,
but that's it's actually quite low because you're saying maybe 120, is it?
120 over 80, but it's actually not too low because yours was kind of near the 110, sort of over 79. So it's in or around that. What we're looking at is that type of blood pressure would be fine, okay? If it's 100 over 50 or below that and somebody's feeling very weak or symptomatic and that they're feeling faint or, you know, then you would be kind of concerned about them. But yours would be fine once you're feeling very well. What we're looking at is blood pressure that's above 140 over 90.
And why is that dangerous? What does that mean? If you check your blood pressure, it's over 140, what does that mean?
So what it does is over a period of time, it causes damage to the blood vessels that, you know, support the heart and the lungs, you know, as well, or the brain, should I say, and the heart. So what you're looking at stroke, obviously, and heart disease. So over a long period of time, if you've got high blood pressure, it can cause damage to the blood vessels. So that's why we're encouraging people over the age of 30 in Ireland to have their blood pressure checked, which is what we're doing through our mobile health unit.
You're going on the road with this baby.
You're going on the road.
Yeah. So we have this mobile health unit on the road now over a year.
Is it just one?
Just one mobile health unit.
So you've a lot of miles to cover.
We have covered actually 35,000 kilometres in the year, which is fantastic.
So where do you do? Do you sort of rock up at shopping centres and different things like that?
Yeah, we do. We have a relationship with the Men's Shed, the Irish Men's Shed.
Oh, we know them well on the show. They do great work.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Are men the concern here, or is it women as well?
So we're looking at, okay, so what I would say is both men and women should have their blood pressure checked, okay? But what we're looking at is a survey we've done since we've had the mobile health unit on the road, showed that 41% of people had high blood pressure and more men than women.
41%, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot. Yeah. And what we found as well is that out of the group that we saw, it was a very small sample group, but we just wanted to see how the mobile health unit was doing in its first year on the road. Less men were likely to go to their GP than women.
That's,
It's unfortunate as well.
Well, you're free, which is the great thing as well.
Free, yeah, it's a sponsorship with Bank of Ireland to Medtronic. It's a free blood pressure service that we have going nationally. We saw 11,000 people this year, which is fantastic.
And come here, tell me, have you sort of seen people where you would go, you need to go to a hospital now?
We have.
Genuinely?
Genuinely.
Yeah,
so you've saved lives with this?
Well, we have, and I suppose, to be honest, it's even if somebody's blood pressure is even marginally up, you don't know what it's going to be like in 6 months' time or a year's time. So if you're catching somebody, you're preventing serious problems later on.
And so say somebody comes in and they do get checked, and like Alan says, they're a little bit high. What can they then do to tackle high blood pressure?
So the best thing to do is, first of all, go to your GP, okay? And your GP will probably do 24-hour blood pressure monitoring. So that's where you measure your blood pressure over a longer period of time. You can't just base high blood pressure on one blood pressure reading.
Because it could just be
it could be fluctuation. It could
be
today coming in and having your blood pressure checked. You might be running around, had a lot of coffee or that. So you need to check it a few times.
Because you were checking my pulse. You said my pulse was very fast today, and then you were saying there may be, well, live TV may have had my pulse racing a little bit.
And you had a big weekend.
And I had a big weekend. But that's what you were saying. Was there an alcohol? Was there a big? But you were saying you should be watching your pulse as well.
So yeah, we would normally check people's pulse as well when we've done the blood pressure, just to see is it nice and regular as well. So yours was fine actually, Sinead, today, and Alan's, yours was just
you
a
were
little
slightly
bit fast.
concerned about it.
Yeah, but it was below 100. We like it to be kind of between 70 and 100 at the most, you know. So if it's over 100, then I would have told you to go to your GP probably straight away. But yours was just less than that.
Straight away?
Not as soon as possible, probably, you know.
And you were sort of saying it was you thought it was missing a beat.
Because people were rocking the unit around, so it wasn't ideal because with cameras coming in and all that today.
But that's
when I
something you should
measured
be
it a little
looking for.
Yeah, making sure that it's nice and steady and regular, that the heart has a nice electrical, you know, it's electrical beats that go through the heart as well, so that your electrical system in the heart is
it the normal stuff? Is it staying fit, staying healthy, watching your diet, reducing alcohol intake, nicotine, caffeine? Is it all the kind of general health things that can improve our blood pressure?
Yeah.
Or do you have to take medication?
So what we would say is, as I say earlier on, have your blood pressure done with the GP, have a 24-hour monitoring. He will make the decision then and the diagnosis as to whether or not you've got hypertension. Okay, hypertension is the name for high blood pressure. That's when your blood pressure is diagnosed as being up for a long period of time. So your GP will check that out and then possibly put you on medication. But we also need to look at our lifestyle as well. So one of the things I would say is know your blood pressure, first of all. So if you're over 30 and you have your blood pressure checked, you know, make sure you know what the number is as well. It's good to know your own numbers and be in control of your own health as well.
And is smoking one of the big factors?
Smoking, particularly with high blood pressure, be very high risk factor for stroke because it narrows the arteries as well. So it's very important. If you do smoke, ring our helpline, 1800 25 25 50. We have qualified nurses on the helpline to be very, you know, open to helping you with that. I mean, there's also a quick line number as well. You can get a lot of support if you're smoking.
So people at home are still thinking, well, I'd love to get the free test. How do I find out when you're coming to my area?
So if you go to irishheart.ie, we have a schedule there and it shows you where the unit is going. We've been to all 26 counties in the Republic of Ireland in the year, which is great.
Good.
Have you done all of this?
Well, I have a team of,
I was just about to say, it's not just you.
Just you.
And you've got a great driver, Philip, as well, who's driving you around the place.
We have brilliant Philip, two Philips actually, and we have Richard as well. We have a fantastic administrator called Emma Carter, who's fantastic as well. Go to the website, irishheart.ie, have a look at the schedule. We go to shopping centres, family resource centres, community centres.
It's a great
idea.
It's a great idea.
Is.
Like as you said, you've got people have gone in and you've gone, look, this is very high. You need to go and see a doctor or go to a hospital today because this is too high, and you need to sort that.
And it's really just to say to people, if your blood pressure's up, we don't want to scare you either. There's so many things you can do
to know because you could be preventing a
pressure.
stroke further down the line or heart disease. So it's great knowledge to be armed with. Marese, thank you so much. Pleasure. Great information. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll see you in a few minutes.